In February 1990, Mike Tyson was the most feared man on the planet. 37 wins, 37 fights, 33 by knockout, and most of those in under 2 rounds. Fighters weren't just losing to him, they were losing so much that they were just getting removed entirely from the sport early. His next opponent was a 33-year-old journeyman named Buster Douglas. The odds against him were 42-1, and only one casino in Las Vegas would even take that bet. To understand how big that number was, you have to understand who Mike Tyson actually was. Nobody had taken Mike Tyson past the 5th round since 1987, and opponents weren't just losing fights, they were losing them early and sometimes even under a minute. There were even stories, probably exaggerated by a little, of fighters looking genuinely afraid before the bell even rang. This wasn't just a boxer with a good record. This was something closer to a natural disaster with a win-loss column. Buster Douglas came from a family of boxing. His father, Billy Dynamite Douglas, had been a professional middleweight himself, decent career, but never quite broke through. His father ran a gym in Columbus where he put his son in gloves at the age of 10. Billy trained him for years. Then after a bad loss in 1987, the two had a falling out and stopped talking as trainer and fighter. Douglas had to rebuild with a new team. He then won 4 straight and clawed his way back into contention the hard way. By 1990, he'd earned his big shot, but almost nobody thought it mattered. Most people even saw this fight as just a formality, a tune-up for Mike Tyson's real fight against Evander Holyfield. Some reporters even showed up early, already planning how fast they'd file the story about Mike Tyson's win. And tragically, 3 weeks before he stepped into the ring, Douglas's mother had died. Most fighters would just pull out of the fight. Buster Douglas didn't say much about the tragic loss, and he kept training every day until fight night. For 7 rounds, it looked exactly like the formality that everyone had expected. Buster Douglas was using his long reach and actually landing shots. Mike Tyson wasn't used to his opponents staying on their feet this long. By the middle round, his face showed it, one eye swelling shut and his ear cut open. Then, in the 8th round, Mike Tyson caught him with an uppercut and Douglas went down. And for a moment, it looked exactly like the fight that everyone predicted was about to happen, exactly on schedule. Buster Douglas got up, and he finished the round. Round 10. Douglas landed a 4-punch combination. Jab, uppercut, uppercut, straight right, and Tyson's legs went out from under him. Mike Tyson went down near the ropes, and then did the thing that made this story so iconic. He started patting the canvas around him, looking for his mouthguard, trying to get it back in his mouth before he even tried to get up. He didn't make it up in time, and Buster Douglas, 42-1, had just knocked out the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. Douglas didn't celebrate the way you'd expect. He dropped to his knees, and he started bawling tears, right there in the ring, before he'd even made it back to his corner. The story should have ended there, but it almost didn't. Tyson's promoter, Don King, filed an official protest arguing that Douglas had actually stayed down past the legal 10 count in round 8. Don King argued that the fight should never have continued, and for a few days, 2 of boxing's 3 governing bodies actually withheld recognizing Douglas as champion while the protest was being reviewed. It didn't hold up. The protest was withdrawn, and Buster Douglas was confirmed undisputed champion, but for the better part of a week, the biggest upset in boxing history sat in kind of a legal limbo. The man who walked into that ring on an impossible number waited to find out if it would even count. During the press conference, someone finally asked the question everyone in the room had been circling about. How does a guy with those odds, 3 weeks removed from burying his mother, do what he just did? That's when he actually started to break down. It was for my mother, he said. She'd already told everyone he was going to win. Nobody believed her, not the press, not the bookies, not the sport. The odds set 42-1, which is about as close to impossible as the number gets printed. Buster Douglas's mom was right in the end. Her son had won the fight. Comment your next story idea below, subscribe if you want more of these, and thank you for watching.